Bjorn says lots of good people here. These are amazing folks. they they are. I was thinking about something. And let's just talk about it. I was thinking about this next thing, the evil. I was thinking about the evil of meritocracy. So you've all heard the word meritocracy lately. It's like the DEI killer. There's DEI, and then there's meritocracy, and we're gonna run this. We're gonna run this government. We're gonna run these corporations. We're gonna run these businesses like meritocracies. And a meritocracy, of course, is a government or an organization that where power is given to people based on their ability, right? Promotions are given to people based on their ability, and jobs are given to people that are based on their ability. And it's this great tagline. It's meritocracy is going to save us from the evils of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I was thinking the other day, we talked a little bit the other day about Costco and how they're sticking to their guns on DEI. And we know about all the different corporations that have sort of backed away, or at least said they're backing away from DEI policies in order to make the current U.S. administration happy. But I began asking the question about meritocracy. And so, really what it came down to for me was, should Christians embrace a mentality of meritocracy? When I pray, and again, coming back to Bjorn's comment about how many great people are here, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve to be in your presence. I don't deserve to have these relationships, and I don't deserve to know you. You are all so stinking incredible and awesome, and the conversations we have are amazing, and I feel alive when I'm in your presence, and I feel like I'm growing in my own faith, getting to know all of you, yes, including the heathens from Sweden and Norway and all the other places out there, and people of other faiths and other traditions and other practices. I can say that I have a great friend. I have a great friend in West Virginia, Alwyn and Hammer. I have a great friend who's a Norse pagan, and I have friends in Wisconsin, and I have it's just I feel alive. Like I said, I feel like you just gift me every time we get together. Every time I'm in your presence, I feel gifted, and I don't feel like I have earned it. I don't feel like I deserve it. And I was thinking about meritocracy, and should Christians embrace meritocracy, and should meritocracy be something that Christians endeavor to uphold, a policy we should adopt? And it's absolutely no, because I can't think of a single day in my life when I ever prayed, Lord, today, give me what I deserve. I don't want what I deserve, right? Lord, don't give me what I deserve today. Save me. As a person who grew up the way that I did, a person who lived the way that I did, my prayer is just about every day, Lord, save me from the things, save me from what I deserve. Save me from what I deserve. But meritocracy, this idea that somehow, well, they have the abilities, they have the training, they have the experience. This is all fine and good. There's nothing wrong with that. But DEI doesn't prevent educated people from getting the job, and it doesn't prevent experienced people from getting the job, and it doesn't prevent qualified people from getting the job. We've been down this before. It just opens up the doors for everyone. It levels the playing field somewhat. DEI's society's response to an unlevel field, an unlevel court. Some people do feel like they're left out in the cold because of it, and so now they scream meritocracy. But life isn't about the Christian life isn't about getting what we deserve. For us to go to a place where we're trying to push that mentality. There's a passage, actually. It's It's a passage from Romans 5, verse 8. But God demonstrates his love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. While we were still unworthy, Christ died for us. While we did not have the capacity, Christ died for us. While we didn't have the ability, Christ died for us. While we didn't have the training, Christ died for us. While we hadn't said, I'm sorry, Christ died for us. While we hadn't repented, Christ died for us. While we couldn't pay for it ourselves, Christ died for us. Like it's in this passage is the, it's that perfect image that we see from the prodigal son. You all know the story of the prodigal son. The kid goes away. Dad, give me give me what I'm going to get when you die. He takes it and he blows it. He blows it on liquor and booze and sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and realizes his life is garbage after going through all that money. Comes home, he decides, I'm going to go home. Dad treats his slaves better than I'm being treated here, so I'm going to go home and just ask him if I can be a slave. What happens? Before he gets to the driveway, before he gets to the road that leads up to his father's estate, his dad sees him and runs down the road to hug him and to welcome him. Did he deserve it? Nope. Did he earn it? Nope. Not at all. There was no meritocracy there. As a matter of fact, I think you could even say, given the way his brother responds to his return, and the way the brother responds to his father's response to his return, he's ticked. He's completely ticked. I can't believe, look what I've done. I've earned this and you're doing this for him. I've done this and you're doing that for him. I've. And yet you're giving him the fatted calf. It shows us that meritocracy has no place in the Christian mentality. It has no place in a Christian understanding of the world. It has no place in our theology. It has no place in our thinking. It has no place being applied to a Christian life. And it's certainly not something a Christian should apply to the people they encounter. While we were still undeserving, while we had not earned it, while we didn't have the ability, while we didn't have the experience, while we didn't have the education, while we hadn't repented, while we hadn't said, I'm sorry, while we hadn't turned away, God loved us so much that Christ died for us. The Father comes running after us, not because we've earned it, not because we deserve it, not because we have the experience, not because of anything we bring to the table. The Father comes running for us. The Father went running for that Son because the Father loved that Son, because the Father loves us. Meritocracy is not a Christian virtue. It's not a Christian mentality. We are supposed to treat the people around us the way God treated us. If God loved us before we were worthy, if God loved us before we deserved it, if God loved us before we earned it, how are we supposed to treat the people around us? Same way. That's the Christian way. Amen.